We bring you the latest edition of MBC News with me, Kumbuka Piri. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Savita Wirima. Our top stories. The Ministry of Local Government calls on all councils to fully embrace CDF guidelines to ensure effective service delivery. Government issues a stern warning to mining firms regarding regulatory compliance. And in sports, fans disappointed after FDH Premiership launch match between Mighty Wanderers and Karanga United postponed. I'm glad you could join us. Our top story tonight, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Ben Piri has challenged councils across the country to familiarise themselves and adhere to the Constituency Development Fund CDF reforms and guidelines for effective service delivery. He said this in Salima during an engagement with council officials on the World Bank funded Governance to Enable Service Delivery JESID project and CDF implementation. Catherine Banda reports.
Under the CDF guidelines, 72% of CDF funds is for development projects, 10% for district-wide projects, 8% for bursaries and empowerment, 5% for project management costs, and another 5% for rehabilitation and maintenance of infrastructure. Minister of Local Government Ben Piri says CDF implementation requires proper planning, management, accountability, coordination and ownership. He adds the guidelines must be adhered to, ensuring they are demand-driven projects and of high-quality standards. On the other hand, the minister stated that the $80 million World Bank JESID project will go a long way in ensuring quality projects across the country and complementing CDF.
With the guidelines have made allowable and are now allowable expenditures. And among the development areas that we're looking at are what we're calling full package development. Number two is the president, in his wisdom, decided that issues of disaster, for example, the central government was overwhelmed at times to deal with them. Within the CDF, they have put in a percentage that is to do with disaster management. Another beauty about it, it is coming up with 50 million kwaja sports fund, which was never there before.
A JESID project coordinator, Charles Chunga, said the second phase will ride on the successes of the first JESID project. He said the JESID 2.0 will also extend to the urban centres, especially municipal councils, and is expected to run from 2026 July to 2031.
We are going to look at how we can ride on the successes in terms of what has gone wrong or what did we do right in JESID, in the current JESID, and where did we not do well. Then we can improve on those ones.
Dedza District Commissioner Rosemary Nawasha pledged to fully follow the said CDF guidelines.
We are going to use that guidelines to the fullest because it's our way of doing things. We need to follow each and every step that they have lined up for us so that we can implement CDF in the right way without problem.
On the sidelines of the event, the minister launched the corruption-free and prevention policy, also signing a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry, Anti-Corruption Bureau and councils in a bid to end corruption. Catherine Banda, MBC News, Salima.
Government says it will not tolerate mining companies that fail to comply with regulations in their operations in the country. Minister of Natural Resources Patricia Whiskas issued the warning after inspecting Coal and Minerals Group Limited coal mining site at Kasanta in Karanga District, which is closed over non-compliance of mining regulations. George Mkandawire reports.
In recent weeks, waste from the mining site has been flowing into Kasanta and Changwina rivers in the area of Senior Chief Kirupura, forcing people living in surrounding villages under Chief Katumbi to use unsafe water, also causing environmental damage. Following this, government through the Malawi Environmental Protection Authority MEPA ordered the mining company to carry out corrective measures and suspended its operations. However, While inspecting the mine, Minister of Natural Resources Patricia Whiskes found that little to no action has been taken at the site, including putting in place proper systems for disposing of coal waste. Whiskes said this is unfortunate considering the problems communities in the area are facing due to mining activities.
Coal mining is a big industry. If we ask the perpetrators to pay only 5 million, that is a small amount to them, and considering the damage that is done to the environment as well as to the people that are living around that environment, we are considering to indeed adjust it upwards, and also ensure that in future cases such as this should go as far as ensuring that the people that have been affected are actually compensated from the same.
Paramount Chief Kyungu of Karonga and Chitipa said that development should not come at the expense of people's lives.
We're disappointed and very angry that the welfare of our people has not been taken into consideration. Pollution. The Ogoni people in Nigeria suffer the same pollution. And our people today, they are also suffering the same pollution. Disregard for humanity by the mining company. We're now talking about human beings, animals, marine, and everything. So that's dangerous. As the Honorable Minister said, the effects will not be seen today, but maybe in a few years from today.
An administrator at the mining firm, CMG Brian Mwangonde, said they will comply and address all issues that government has noted.
We've hired some of the engineers to come on site and help us draft a proper design on the loading bay and the turning dams and the like, so that we can have a proper system in place which can contain, the situation.
Government agencies, the National Water Resources Authority and the Malawi Environmental Protection Authority found that the mine was violating regulations in their operations, prompting a closing order and a subsequent fine of 14 million kwacha for numerous charges and offences committed. George Nkandawire, MBC, Karonga.
Stakeholders in the conservation of Lake Malawi National Park and World Heritage Sites have been called on to embrace modern methods of protecting wildlife. Deputy Director in the Department of Parks and Wildlife, William Ngola, made the remarks in Mangochi during the closing of a week-long training for park frontline staff, fisheries officials, the Department of Antiquities and communities around Lake Malawi National Park and protected areas. Sotin Dazi has compiled this report read by Owen Mavula.
The 5-day training in Mangochi was aimed at enhancing the capacity of heritage professionals to conduct impact assessments for World Heritage Sites. The training was part of a broader effort to strengthen the management and conservation of Lake Malawi National Park and other heritage sites, and it involved online sessions on World Heritage basics, in-person workshop, and individual scoping reports on participants' respective sites. Speaking during the official closing of the training, Deputy Director of Parks and Wildlife, William Ngola, hailed UNESCO for organizing the training, saying this will go a long way in supporting government's effort in conserving environment.
A 5-day training workshop using the toolkit which we call Enhancing Management Effectiveness Toolkit. This is a toolkit specifically for World Heritage Sites. Lake Malawi National Park, is a World Heritage Site. And this toolkit enables you to assess how effective you are managing the protected area. And actually, this toolkit has about 12 worksheets. There are several areas in terms of protected area management.
Board chairperson for Mangochi Salima Lake Park Association, Francis Njanje, said the training will help advance a unified approach in the effective management of Lake Malawi National Park among stakeholders.
We have learned a lot. A key note that we have learned that we can't work in isolation. The community and the Parks and Wildlife will be working hand in hand.
The training was coordinated with the Department of Museums and Monuments, Department of National Parks and Wildlife, and the Malawi National Commission for UNESCO.
Now, government has assured street-connected children of full support to ensure they access education and acquire various technical skills. Minister of Gender, Children, Disability and Social Welfare, Mary Navicha, said doing so will help reduce the number of street-connected children and enable them grow into responsible citizens. Navicha made the remarks in Lilongwe after interacting with street-connected children and the community around Area 38 dump site. Details in this report by Lonjezom Sodoka.
The minister first engaged street-connected children at Lilongwe Town Hall, where she appreciated what the children go through, their needs and achievements. The minister said meaningful engagement with children is not optional, but essential to ensure all street-connected children are heard and supported. She therefore commended efforts by the Lilongwe Rehabilitation Center and One Step Foundation together with other partners for transforming lives of many street-connected children. Navicha further said government is committed to promote the welfare of people at Area 38 dump site and ensure that every child grows up in a safe and protected environment and has all necessary resources to thrive.
Time has come. We have to sit down with them, identify their talents, identify their potential, and start allocating them into various institutions. Some of them, they will be back to school, maybe primary, secondary, and some of them, they will be start acquiring some skills in our community development centers.
Executive Director for One Step Foundation, Moses Malabu, said street-connected children face numerous challenges which need increased resources to support their education and equip them with necessary skills. He noted that this would help the children become independent while also reducing the number of children living on the streets.
What government has said is going to pass because we are here. We have been told that we should write down the names of all the mothers who are nursing their children in the street and also those who are depending on here, so that the government can provide them with the loans.
At the event, the minister presented a Medal of Honor and a cash prize of 10 million kwacha to Malabu in recognition of his work in caring for street-connected children. She said the money will support various programs for the children. Lonjezon Sodoka, NBC News, Lilongwe.
Malawi has today joined the rest of the world in commemorating World Malaria Day, an annual global event dedicated to raising awareness about malaria, a disease that continues to claim hundreds of thousands of lives every year. The theme for this year was Driven to End Malaria. Now we can and now we must. Commenting on the day, Malaria Coordinator for Blantyre, Georgina Majidu, said the disease remains a serious health concern for residents in the district. She spoke to George Banda.
Malaria remains a very serious concern in the district. So over the years, we've experienced a fluctuation of cases. Like in 2022, we had 214,829 cases. And then in 2023, we had 377,019. In 2024, we had 419,188 cases. Whilst in 2025, we experienced a reduction, reporting 470,544 cases.
What are some of the initiatives that are helping to reduce cases of malaria in the district?
There are several interventions that we use in order to reduce malaria in the district as well as in the country, like the distribution of insecticide-treated nets, and we also make sure that everyone who has signs and symptoms of malaria has to be tested, so diagnosis and treatment of a person with malaria. We also make sure that pregnant women are also prevented by using the intermittent preventive therapy, and we also do community awareness, which is to urge all Malawians to at least seek medical care as early as possible.
This is NBC News with me, Kumalawi Piri, alongside Savita Wirima. A reminder of our top stories. The Ministry of Local Government calls on all councils to fully embrace CDF guidelines to ensure effective service delivery. Government issues a stern warning to mining firms regarding regulatory compliance. And in sports, fans disappointed after FDH Premiership launch match between Mighty Wanderers and Karanga United postponed.
Kuno ndi Kumalawi, dziko lodzaza ndi kuthekera makakwa iwo ogwira ntchito molimbika. Iwo ochita malonda ali nazo zifukwa zonse zopititsira patsogolo ntchito zawo, monga kukhala ndi yawo post office box. Ndi Malawi Post Corporation sizikutenganso mtunda wautali kuti mubwezeretse kapena kutsekula post office box ndi kuyamba kulandira makalata anu mosavuta. Kwa onse ochita malonda, makampani komanso mabungwe ndi zotheka kukhala ndi post office box yanu kapenanso private bag malingana ndi kukula kwa kampani yanu. Anzanu oona patali anatsekula kale yawo post office box ndipo mtima unachita zii pa nkhani ya chitetezo cha makalata awo chifukwa box yawo amatsekula okha basi. Mukatsekula post office box ndiyo khazikika ndizothekanso kusamutsa box yanu kupita dera lina. Kuti mubwezeretsenso kapena kukhala ndi post office box, pitani ku post office yomwe muli nayo pafupi. Malawi Post Corporation, worth your trust.
Munyengo ngati ino mukakolola zokolola zanu ayi ndithu tsiku lakwa idya nkoni, zinazo sunga nkoni ngati mbewu, ndipo zinazo chitaniko invest. Zaphunzireni maluso a ntchito zamanja za tekinoloji ndi Zabuka Training Center. Kwinaku mukuthamangitsa za ulimi, kwinaku mukuphama kwacha ndi luso la tekinoloji. Maphunziro athu akuyamba pa 4 May 2026. 5 weeks training fees imayambira 150,000 Malawi kwacha. 4 months training fees imayambira 550,000 Malawi kwacha. ICT computer use, ICT advanced, cell phone repairing advanced, home gadgets repairing, computer repairing, audio production, video production, electrical and solar installation, refrigeration and air conditioning, business incubation, applied AI for professional and personal development, motorcycle repairing, modern tailoring and fashion designing, Komanso modern technology.
Register now. Enroll with us. Contact us now.
Zabuka Training Center, Osalokeka.
We continue with NBC News now. Stakeholders in vocational skills training have been challenged to create more partnerships in vocational training as a way of reducing the skills gap among the youth in the country in line with Malawi 2063. TVETA board chairperson Gilbert Chilinde was speaking at Ekwendeni Lay Training Center under the CCAP Synod of Livingstonia during a graduation of 695 graduates in various trades under the informal sector. Details in this report by Grant Mhango.
Chilinde said it remains the aspiration of the current government to train more youth in vocational skills. He then expressed satisfaction with the outcomes, further encouraging them to explore more avenues for furthering their skills.
At the moment, we need to increase the intake and the access to TVET training. The reason we are confident that we will be able to reach the 160 are the community technical colleges around, and also this program, the informal sector training program, and the national training, the national technical colleges. All of them will be highly resourced.
CCP Synod of Livingstonia General Secretary Reverend William Tembo commended government for promoting vocational skill training in the country.
Professor Bingwa Mtarika, he had a vision of letting the country train these young people, take them to China, let them train, and they come back and then they manufacture little things. But this time around, I think as a country we are lucky that we don't have to take them to China. We can do them locally as we have done. Today, 695. That's very big. This is a big number of the population that was forgotten. But today, here they are. Now we are saying, let it just not be just training, and then we let them go. Let them contribute to the economy of the country.
And for his part, Plan International Malawi country representative Herbert Chidaya said the European-funded project through the government of Malawi will continue training youth in vocational skills in the country.
Important to make an impact to these young people who are graduating today. So it's very important that we partner, we bring in the resources and they bring their own technical expertise to support and train.
The trades include tailoring, hairdressing, carpentry and joinery, and welding. Grant Mwango, MBC News, Mzuzu.
The Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital has commended Water and Sanitation Wash Media Forum for considering cleaning the hospital's surroundings as it enhances a conducive health environment for patients and health workers. Speaking when the members of the Media Forum cleaned Gogo Chatinka maternity wing at the Central Hospital, Environmental Health Officer for the institution, Virginia Kananji, emphasized the need for unity in prevention of diseases through community support in cleaning the Central Hospital, which is a referral institution for all Malawians.
It is the responsibility of everyone to help in sanitation and hygiene. So it is very important that every community, every Malawian should have a commitment in sanitation and hygiene so that we create a sustainable environment, a very clean environment to everyone. Like Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital saves a lot of people around Malawi. We can say the whole of Malawi, because even the other central hospitals refer their patients here. So we as Malawians, if we can hold hands, help in sanitation and hygiene in these hospitals, it will help to prevent more infections and many other diseases.
In his remarks, Secretary General for Wash Media Forum, George Muhango, said the effort to clean the hospital ward was to honor women and to respond to the Executive Order No. 2 by the President on hygiene and environment.
We looked at Queens because those people that work here have to work in a good environment. Those people that work in the maternity ward have to work in a very good environment. And when we look at the activities that we have done here, like mopping, cleaning the outside environment, they are in tandem with what we fight for. Mind you, we are also talking about the International Women's Day, which was celebrated in the month of March. So as media, we thought it wise to come here and do this activity so that we also, partake in the various activities that each and every human being has to do. As journalists, we are also human beings. We live in the same communities where workers at Queens live in. So we are also trying to champion what the President has advocated for through the Executive Order No. 2, which talks about promotion of hygiene and sanitation. So it's just a replica of what the authorities are talking about, and as media being the fourth estate, we're also trying to advance those kind of activities so that we live in a clean and safe environment.
Finally, to sports. Many football fans have expressed disappointment following the abandonment of the official launch match of the 2026-27 FDH Bank Premiership. The match between Mighty Wanderers and Karanga United, scheduled for Kamuzu Stadium in Blantyre, failed to take place because the assigned referees did not turn up. Norbert Jameson reports.
Both teams availed themselves at the stadium and warmed up in readiness for the match. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Alfred Gangata, who was the guest of honor, was also present, along with Football Association of Malawi FAM President Flitu Haya, Super League of Malawi Sulom President Gilbert Mitawa, Mayor of Blantyre City Isaac Jomo Osman, and FDH Bank officials. However, the match officials did not show up, leading to the postponement. This follows a misunderstanding between FAM and Sulom. On Friday, FAM warned Sulom against hosting the match at the Kamuzu Stadium, saying the facility does not meet the required standards to host elite matches. The postponement did not go down well with most fans, who thought the situation could have been handled better. Tianjani Gunya, who had traveled from Chiradzuru, described the events as disappointing after spending over 20,000 kwacha to attend the match and return home. Another fan, Johan Danger, also shared his disappointment after traveling from Chorom. The sentiments were echoed by Blantyre-based football fans Overton Ntambo and Frederick Tom.
There's a sponsor who brought money to this league, and that sponsor has a plan. Whatever has happened today is a distraction. They have really destroyed the face of the sponsor. Additionally, I'm also very concerned because as a supporter, I have spent a lot of money for transport. I've also spent a lot of money to pay so that I watch this game. Finally, I'm not so sure only how Sulom is going to compensate us as supporters on the money that we paid. There's no any documentation. They can't trace who paid for this game. But as supporters, we need our money back and we need their voice because whatever has happened today has happened without any communication on what is going to happen as the next step.
Despite the setback in the official launch match, the league kicked off with 3 other fixtures. Silver Strikers beat Kamuzu Barracks 2-0 at Champions Stadium in Mponera, while Civil Service United and FCB Nyasa Big Bullets shared the spoils in a 2-0 draw at Civil Stadium. The match between Moyare Barracks and Goshen Citadels Dynamos ended goalless at Rumpi Stadium. 4 more matches are scheduled for Sunday. Norbert Jameson, NBC Sport.
Well, that item also concludes this edition of NBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. The Ministry of Local Government calls on all councils to fully embrace CDF guidelines to ensure effective service delivery. Government issues a stern warning to mining firms regarding regulatory compliance. And in sports, fans disappointed after FDH Premiership launch match between Mighty Wanderers and Karanga United postponed. You can keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Kumbukani Piri, and our sign language interpreter tonight was Savita Wirima. From the entire news team, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast. We had windy and partly cloudy weather conditions in the past 24 hours and some rains were experienced and heavy over northern Malawi. Iponga had 60 millimeters this morning while Songwe had 53. Katabe registered 28 millimeters. Light rains were experienced over Vintukutu and Mimosa. We expect partly cloudy and few showers tonight and morning hours. Fog is likely tonight and during morning.